Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Thank you very much to all the new Patreon members. There's multiple every single day. Thank you. I can't say it enough. I'm always kind of shocked when I keep seeing new ones popping up there. As always, a great way and an easy way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, or by telling me what your favorite cryptocurrency is, because it does help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, and I was going to say the last 24 hours, like the last 12 hours, the cryptocurrency market is completely all over the place. A lot of coins that were consolidating and or trending sideways the last day or two are now kind of surging, if you want to really use that word, at least at the time of me making this video. Ethereum is one of them. We had news about last week. Ethereum was around $1,214, somewhere around there. Ethereum is currently trying to push its way above $1,500 US dollars. As one might have imagined, it is the most popular price news stories of the day. It says Ethereum price analysis, Ethereum eyeing fresh surge above $1,500 US dollars. TA, Ethereum signaling bullish breakout, why Ethereum could rally above $1,400. The news all over the place is that, according to the articles, it appears as if on the charts, Ethereum is looking like it is mimicking Bitcoin's 2017 move, i.e., it goes up a lot. Everyone's like, okay, maybe it cool off now. And then it's planning a huge surge. I'm seeing a lot of articles over the last day or two talking about this consolidation phase and also where the market looks like it's moving, that it's going to try and go above 2,000, 2,500, and potentially 3,000. Once again, no one knows, but this is constantly what's happening. As we had that pullback in the market, Ethereum didn't really pull back as much as many other coins who were falling by like 18% and 7% and all these other things. Ethereum went down by like 1%. So it remained relatively heavily steadily. A lot of the news is also focusing around DeFi. The amount of people who are getting into DeFi, whether that be speculatively from people who have moved away from stocks or people who are no longer interested in the Wall Street bet kind of thing because they don't want to bet on stocks anymore, to be restricted from trading their stocks or buying their stocks or selling their stocks, whatever the actual stock case might be. Now, these people have simply flown into the cryptocurrency space, which we've actually seen over just the last week. The amount of bets that we've been hearing about that have been placed on this coin and that coin and so coin. Once again, if you plan on, I said this in the last video and I think the one before, if you plan on getting into that whole hyper speculative market, just watch out because it is very unpredictable, as you will see in a couple of seconds. It says new investment inflows help Ethereum surge past 1,400 despite rising gas fee. Once again, the big players don't care. I'm not sure if this is the website where they don't care for Ethereum, where they decided to throw something negative into the actual title, despite the rising gas fee. None of the major players, people would not be into Bitcoin if they cared about the actual transaction fees. People would not be into Ethereum if they cared about the gas fee. It's the long term. It's always the long term when it comes to these things. People are expecting Ethereum to hit 8,000, $15,000, $20,000, or $30,000 like we saw for that wacky prediction before. Same exact thing with Bitcoin. We're getting these wild and crazy numbers, and people aren't like, well, Bitcoin has a $20 gas fee. I don't want to make $1 million. That's not what's happening. People are thinking well beyond that. It's like somebody was telling me before. It's like if you're trying to transfer $1 million, even if you're transferring out of Bitcoin and the transaction fee is $35, are you going to be like, I'm going to wait for the fee to drop? No, you cash out immediately and you take that $35 loss and you've still essentially made $1 million. Ethereum price prediction, Ethereum can hit good job. The Ethereum price prediction is Ethereum can hit $1,700. I mean, I just assumed it would fall back down to zero. I assumed 1,400 was kind of the peak and we'd never go any higher. Of course it's going to. Remember the other day when one of the websites was like, Ethereum's going to hit 1,400, and it was like 1,389 and 47 cents. And I was like, yeah, this guy's a psychic. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's really smart. I think that's this one as wait. Okay. Also in the news, kind of the only one as well, which is really weird because it's not the only one pumping at the moment. It says charted, Uniswap's uni remains elevated. Why uptrend isn't over yet? I see far more Uniswap price news, and I mean across the board on multiple websites, than I do when Cardano is pumping. Maybe not so much EOS, but even if Polkadot is pumping and Uniswap is going up by like 3%, they're like, here we go. And it's, I mean, I get that it's popular, but so many people are trying to hammer it. I mean, it's even not as bad as what we used to get before for Chainlink. Chainlink was in the news all the time, just talking about it rose by 2%, and it's like Bitcoin's up by 18.5% in the same exact time. So, that was one of the other altcoins that was kind of in the price news. And yeah, the mega news for, why does my knee hurt? For flipping in the market. It says market flips as XRP and Dogecoin price collapse after a weekend surge. So I said, if you plan on joining into that banjo wagon, if you plan on getting on that train of following these people, people did make significant gains. I mean, I think XRP went from, what was it? 30 cents to 75 cents, and Dogecoin was half of a cent and went to 8 cents. So if you got onto the rocket, you made out well. But the idea that these things were going to continue to pump, and these things have actually completely fallen down and collapsed, kind of back to earth numbers, if you will. But all of it is very unpredictable right now. Everyone is still discussing. I'm sure you've seen it as well. When I'm on YouTube, my suggestions are constantly Reddit, Wall Street Bets, Reddit, Wall Street Bet, cryptocurrencies, Dogecoin. It's always focusing around these things and like what's going to kind of be the next really big thing. Even CNBC is talking about it sometimes, like, oh, did you see the crypto pump? And just watch out. Yeah, anyway, so market's looking kind of crazy, but altcoins are surging, at least at the time of me making this video. I think people forget that time exists. So sometimes I make a video and like something is happening at that time, and then people will watch the video 18 hours later and go, bro, you better do your own homework. That's not what's happening. And it's like, yeah, because you're in the future. I'm making the video now, and then when you see it, things happen because it's like me. Anyway, on top of that, I guess this kind of matches with it as well. The amount of discussions and websites talking about the amount of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin supply ratio, the Bitcoin this, how many Bitcoin are actually floating around. Bitcoin has gone over and over. Is kind of, I don't know what, wait, I'm going to find the word. Surmounting, avalanching. It's a lot. At least at this time. And I don't know if it's simply people are following the hype of being like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is rare, or if people are actually trying to warn people and tell them like, hey, pay attention to all these things that are happening. It says as Bitcoin remains in its consolidation channel, more on-chain metrics suggest that it could be time to buy once again. A ratio that measures the amount of Bitcoin compared to stablecoins has fallen back to levels usually indicative of bullish buying momentum. On-chain analytics provider Glassnode has noted the ratio in its latest report, stating that the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio, or SSR, has been declining in 2021 as more stablecoins are minted. While the stablecoin supply ratio is low, there is a large supply of stablecoins relative to Bitcoin, which indicates more buying power ready to flow into Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Furthermore, many of these newly minted stablecoins are being deposited onto exchanges, meaning that they are highly liquid and ready to buy up assets such as Bitcoin. So it's not the only one. There's also, so first of all, the point being, and I'll show you more. If this is something that tickles your fancy, like if you like hearing like this exact form of news, because this is kind of news every single day. I rarely, maybe twice a week, will bring it to everyone simply because I think you should have all had it in your head at this point that Bitcoin is extremely rare, that a huge amount of it is being bought up by companies and corporations, and that also a huge amount of it is also being taken off of cryptocurrency exchanges. So if you need the constant reminder, I will surely bring it to you, but this is news basically every single day within the cryptocurrency space. Tying into this one as well, Ki Young Ju, the CEO of on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant, has pointed out that he believes massive outflows from Coinbase worth over $500 million in Bitcoin are the strongest bullish signal in the market right now. On Twitter, the CEO revealed that over 15,000 Bitcoin were moved out of Coinbase and went into custody wallets that only have ingoing transactions. We spoke about that a couple of months ago as well. A lot of people think that these people are buying up tons of Bitcoin to simply swap it back out, or they're trading with it and stuff like that. No, they're going into addresses. You can see on the actual, this is why blockchain's amazing and super awesome and cool and stuff like that, because you can see the address where it's going to. You can see the metrics of a certain address, how many more Bitcoin they're getting. You can see the inflows and outflows of it. And we're only seeing inflows. They're only pushing Bitcoin into it, and none of it is going to be sold. All the companies we've had information from before have basically told us, no, we're buying it up and we're not selling any of it. So these are the addresses that we keep seeing. Custody, transactions, suggesting large investors are accumulating the cryptocurrency after buying through over-the-counter deals. He said massive Coinbase outflows, 15,000 Bitcoin at $32,400. Looking at the transactions, they went into custody wallets that only have ingoing transactions. Is likely to be an over-the-counter deal from institutional investors. I believe this is the strongest bull signal. I need English. Very popular news. It's to be completely expected. I'm actually shocked that Bitcoin is even as low as it currently is right now. We've gotten news every single day, either about a wealthy client, a wealthy something, some rich person being into Bitcoin. And I don't know if it's the news that when a rich person says that they're into Bitcoin, or they like Bitcoin, or Bitcoin's really cool, or Bitcoin's really amazing. I don't know if simple people go, oh, wow, eventually he will buy. And it's like, no, he's talking about it because he's probably been accumulating for the last couple of years. And therefore, he's letting you know right now, once his pockets are full, hey, that thing that I have in my pockets already is amazing. We've also been getting tons of news before that people have been taking their cryptocurrencies off of crypto exchanges. And is usually in mass, which is an indicator that is probably large institutional funds who are buying it up, taking it off of the exchange, whatever. But also there are normal, smaller players in the market who are also doing the exact same thing, whether it be because of self-custody, whether it be because they want more control over their own money. It could be a bajillion things floating in the air. But we are currently experiencing a supply crunch. I guess that's the word you want to use. There's not a lot of Bitcoin already flowing around, and then more and more gets taken off the market every single day. And it's going to be, once again, a very huge shock for a lot of people when this finally enters their mind and they're like, oh, wait, I should have been buying before. What's this one? Bitcoin exodus from Coinbase is strongest bull signal. Yeah, see, it's very popular news. Bitcoin whale transfers $500 million worth of Bitcoin off of Coinbase, supply at 2-year low. We keep saying all the cryptocurrency exchanges, the amount of Bitcoin that they have on there keep decreasing. And the more that decreases, the less crypto there is for other people to be able to buy. So when other people have to buy, they go to cryptocurrency exchanges. Well, if the crypto on that website keeps going down and diminishing, there we go. The price ends up rising on the exchange. More people buy, price rises higher, you kind of get it. This one, I assume, is something. Bitcoin consolidation brings massive new users. Key indicators for the launch of the next bull run. I think you get the trend basically at this point. It was, oh gosh, what's this guy's name? I don't think it was Charlie Lee's brother. I don't remember. I know it was Novogratz and one other person. They've been talking on CNBC and a lot of these other places the last couple of days, basically saying that the metrics, according to the metrics, we've seen a 200,000, 300,000 extra people that we can measure have entered the Bitcoin market over the last week. And once again, I assume that's simply the overflow of people from the stock thing who have landed in the Bitcoin market. And that's going to continue. It's going to continue rising. But if Bitcoin was scarce before, and we have all these new people who are trying to buy into it, it's going to cause the price to begin to rise. It becomes scarcer. And then, people don't get how scarce this actually is. And I think it's going to be kind of crazy. Anyway, that's all the price news, or that's all the money movement, price consolidation, technical analysis news that's kind of flowing around there. The market's crazy. Like, the market's losing its actual mind, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see these pumps. It's nice to see these movements. It's nice for the news that we've been getting for 6 months to finally translate into the market. So fingers crossed, hoping for good times ahead. And without further ado, let's move on. So, do you remember remember years ago when like something would happen in the world and then like 2 years later we'd get news that a movie was being made about it because, time. I remember stuff happening, like it would take like 2 or 3 years for a movie to come out. Not anymore. The Wall Street Bet saga, an incredibly ridiculous story about a group of amateur Reddit investors who beat career Wall Street hedge funds at their own game, is to be made into a movie. This thing is still happening right now. So I'm not really sure how they're planning on making it into a movie when it's actually still taking place at this current moment. It's who got the rights to something that is currently still happening? I don't understand. According to a report by online news site Deadline, ooh, fancy, on the 31st of January, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, or MGM, won the rights to produce the film in a bidding war involving major Hollywood movie houses. They were betting on this as it was happening? I mean, okay. The movie is to be based on a book proposed by author Ben Mesrich, who wrote the book The Accidental Billionaires, which is, I think, about the Winklevis. Was adapted. Oh, there we go. Was adapted into The Social Network. Wonderful. The title to his planned latest offering is called The Antisocial Network. Quoting sources familiar with the development, the book is expected to go on to publishers later this February. However, it's not yet clear what shape or structure the movie will take. MGM's Michael DeLuca will produce the film. DeLuca's only... I don't have to read anymore. Here's Deadline. And if I'm not mistaken, the Winklevis are also going to be part of this as well. It's not just me, right? Like I'm not being the weird one. Like, this is too soon, kind of. Like, if we got news in like November of them like making a movie, like, wow, yeah, that was a really crazy part of the year that happened, not that is currently happening. I mean, I guess you got to make your money wherever you can, but this seems a little early for my taste. So for those of you who were hankering for some movies, you're gonna get it about the thing that's currently still happening and taking place in the news, because it hasn't ended. Remember every single time that people keep making movies like this, they're always terrible. Unless if the guy who made The Big Short makes this, it'd be a good movie. But I have a very strange feeling it's probably not him. I also didn't really care for The Social Network. It was kind of cheesy. Anyway, that's the Winklevoss news. Or the MGM. Why are you making a movie about this right now? I feel like there are a couple other things you could be making movies about that would actually help the world. And without further ado, let's move on. Bitcoin bull and Morgan Creek Digital co-founder Anthony Pompliano says that the new wave of retail traders will defect from the traditional markets and flow to crypto markets. Appearing on CNBC, Pompliano asserted that Wall Street's rampant manipulation and double standards against retail investors would trigger an exodus into the decentralized meritocracy of the digital asset market. He said, "We're just watching the acceleration, where these people are going to pick up their ball and they're going to play elsewhere." Oh, that's okay. "And they're going to move to the decentralized financial system that is a free market that operates as a meritocracy, where the best idea wins. If you're right, you profit. If you're wrong, you lose. That's how most things work. There's no bailouts. There's no circuit breakers, Coinbase. There's no hours of operation. There's no one to call to halt the trading of a stock. If you're right, you profit. If you're wrong, you lose. That's how logic works." But that's no longer happening in American financial markets or any of them. It's not just America. Have you seen how the rest of the world operates? They do the exact same thing. It's just that it happened in America and people are like, America? It happens all over the place. People are restricted from using their money. You can't buy this. You can't buy that. We just had news a couple of days ago that Russia's restricting all of the people in its parliament from using crypto. They've proposed rules before that said if you're too poor, you can't touch crypto. Like what's it? And then all happening. So we now have manipulated markets where you think that things have been manipulated for a long time. Have you ever seen that thing? Jeez Louise. Have you ever seen that thing? There was a couple of years ago, a couple of people from JP Morgan Chase came forward and they were basically like, yeah, JP Morgan Chase is manipulating the silver market. People were like, Boulder Dash, that's not happening. And then people looked into it and they were like, oh, they actually are manipulating the silver. They manipulate everything. They control the markets. That's why do you think I was so angry in the other video? Because these people make sure that they control everything. They don't want poor people having money. Why do you think it was such an easy thing for them in their mind to be like, wait, whoa. We lost money? No. Unplug it right now. Because they don't care about anyone else. They think that they are the creators of the world. Manipulated markets where the free market does not reign, and therefore we're going to accelerate the digital decentralized financial system that's being built right now. And he kept on talking, and I don't feel like reading it. You get the major general point. All the major people in the cryptocurrency space, kind of the head figures, if you will. And I guess the world has made Pompliano one of them because are basically talking about that we're going to see an outflow from that market and they're going to be flowing into our market. It's bound to happen. This isn't like a crystal ball kind of moment. Has it gotten dark in here? I think it has. It gotten really gray outside really fast. So I don't know. I'm sure you can still see me. I don't know why I was like. Anyway, sure. This will be great for our markets, and I think it's a real eye opener. If you were into traditional markets before and you get into crypto, and you realize that crypto's 24/7 and doesn't really close, and you can kind of do as you wish, if you want to use those words. It's a big difference to the market's only open from 7 o'clock until 5, and you can't start trading until early Monday morning. Or the market's closed, well, your position's locked until, it doesn't, because we're in the future and computers can move 24 hours a day. So, cool. That's the Trader Rebellion. And without further ado, let's move on. In news that shouldn't really shock anyone, but this is also quite popular news. Last Thursday, the CFO and CEO of MicroStrategy talked about Bitcoin during the company's Q4 2020 financial webinar. On August 11th, 2020, MicroStrategy announced via a press release that it had purchased around $250 million worth of Bitcoin. They said our decision to invest in Bitcoin at this time was driven in part by a confluence of macro factors affecting the economic and business landscape that we believe is creating long-term risk for our corporate treasury program, risk that should be addressed proactively. And then they talk about 19. They said, we believe. Since then, MicroStrategy has several more purchases of Bitcoin for its treasury. However, now it seems that the company has decided to make an even stronger commitment to Bitcoin. During MicroStrategy's Q4 2020 earnings call, Phone Lee, I guess that's someone's name, okay, who is the company's president and CFO, had this to say about Bitcoin. Regarding our Bitcoin strategy, our pioneering, decision to make Bitcoin our primary treasury reserve asset has made MicroStrategy a thought leader. Wow, patting yourself on the back in the cryptocurrency market and generated great interest in MicroStrategy as a corporate corporation. Good job. Going forward, we continue to plan to hold our Bitcoin, invest additional excess cash flows into Bitcoin, and explore various approaches to acquire additional Bitcoin as part of our overall corporate strategy. So they have Bitcoin. They like Bitcoin. They're going to buy more Bitcoin. They're going to buy even more Bitcoin and figure out how to buy more Bitcoin. Beep. Yeah, like I said, I guess the news is that MicroStrategy has told us 3 times now that they plan on buying more Bitcoin and don't plan on selling their Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure it was MicroStrategy and one other big company. It had to be last week or the week before where people were like, oh, dude, they're going to sell. And they were like, nope, we're definitely not understanding where you're getting that news from. We think Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million. And why would we be selling right now? So yay, renewed interest or continual interest in the market because they don't plan on selling. Does everyone get that? That they're buying because they plan on holding for a long time? Because the bank said Bitcoin's going to hit 600,000. So why would you buy at 32,000 to sell at 35? And without further ado, let's move on. And please pay attention to me news. Please look over here. Pay attention to me news. Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, seems to be fired up with GameStop stock performance over the week, so much that he is willing to acquire $1 million worth of it. Fantastic. But shortly after, Sun would come to a conclusion that the price was not enough. The CEO took to Twitter yesterday to reveal that as soon as the Asian market opens, he would be buying a whopping $10 million worth of GameStop stock. Incredible. He said, if $1 million doesn't seem enough, I'll be buying $10 million of GameStop instead tonight from Asia when market opens! Exclamation point. It's time to unite and squeeze out those greedy hedge funds. Wall Street bets. 4 billion Asian community and 20 million Tron community supporters supports you. Let's do this. I feel like it's a little difficult to say something negative about a hedge fund. The idea is that hedge funds are greedy because they have so much money. Who spent $100 million? What was the name of that coin that no one's using? Justin Sun and his constituents spent $100 million BitTorrent. $100 million on BitTorrent and their token that no one's using. That feels a little hedge fundy. He also spent, what was it, $10 million on a lunch? He said, Wall Street bets whale, spread the news. Tron, look over here. It's me. I'm usually in the news, but no one pays attention to me anymore. Look over here. Look at the stuff I'm posting. There's a cute little bear in the back. I can't believe it. He's holding a coin. Pump it. Spread the news, Tron. For those of you who weren't here over the course of 2018 and 2019, there was a particular person who was in the news every single day, making sure to pump his coin, to tell people to buy his coin. You need to get into this coin. And very few people listened. Why? Because it was a hype train. And I told everybody that it was a hype train, but nobody listened to me that it was a hype train. But alas, here we are. Tron officially on Wall Street bets. What? He's trying to be down with the homies, yo. He's trying to make sure that everybody knows that he's following the trends. You haven't heard about Tron in a while? Well, look over here because we're doing the same thing that's in the news. Redditors from Wall Street Bets forum were quick to catch the news of Sun's arrival to the market. With Sun's backing, the stocks could go higher. They didn't. And Tron could also record an increase in trading volume. It did not, making it a win-win situation for both parties. I saw this news and I was like, are you out of your flipping mind? Remember, there's going to be a lot of hype in the markets. Try to keep your wits about you and understand no one cares. No one in stocks knows who Justin Sun is. They're like, oh, snap. Justin Sun is buying GameStop? I have to do the exact same thing. I've been on Wall Street for 30 years, but he's doing it? That's crazy, Joe Rogan. It doesn't make any sense. Who cares? Who cares? This was also quite popular news. Not really sure why, though. He used to be in the news every day. And I don't mean every other day. I mean constantly in the news. And I, at some point, remember in 2019, I was like, this is the security, right? The U.S. SEC deems that anything that is purchased with an expectation of profit is usually, in their eyes, deemed as a security. And it's usually because there's someone in the background who's telling you to buy it. Someone who's like, hey, guys, buy this. It's amazing. It's awesome. Hard fork, money, news, partnership. Oh, boy. Nice to be back in 2019 where I can go outside again. Anyway, that's the Justin Sun news. I don't know if you saw me roll my eyes thrice. Anyway. Let's moving on. Okay, the market's pumping again. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbite University, Lauren De Silva, very cool name, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Crypto Stahl, George Montoya, Wiselink, Not TMI, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Isla Bahan, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Strogo, Nostromo, John Stars, Indiana Marita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohar Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network. Bankroll Network. Wow. Crypto Artist Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Munn, Jellavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, His Chest Every Day, and Calskip's Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodemic Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Small Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayla Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who is just your wonderful selves and is still here watching this ridiculous channel. At the moment, Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin is currently at 35,363 US dollars. Ow, my toe is up by 2.3%. Ethereum is at 1443. It is up by 8%. XRP's down by 44%. It's back to earth. It's still up 6 cents from where it was before, but you know, Polkadot is up by 5. Cardano's up by 16. It was surging really hard before. I think it has to do with the hard fork news. So saith the internet. Chainlink is up. Okay, everything is up. Lumens is down. They have a very symbiotic relationship. If you haven't noticed, the Lumens to XRP saga. Dogecoin is down by 12. It's still at 3 cents. It was half a penny before. So, you know, numbers. Uniswap is up by 10. Nem is up by 11. Nem. Theta's up by 13. Solana's up by 23. Because why not nowadays? Anything else spectacularly crazy? No. Oh, okay. Luna's up by 30%. Whatever that means on $50 million trading volume. And Kusama's up by 4%. Yay! I love Yaya Kusama. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.